Francis, I am really, really happy to talk to you today. Tell us a little about yourself and what you do.
Okay, so my name is Frances Nwosa. Um, currently, I work as the country manager for Nigeria and Ghana for William Grant and Sons Nigeria. I'm Nigerian. Uh, I am the first of 5 children. I have 3 sisters and a brother. And if you come from Nigeria, Africa, and you're the first child and the first daughter, no pressure, because people are looking up to you and all. So yeah, so that's it. What
How did
about?
you get there, Francis?
I have no idea. I just found myself as the first child, and I just found, you just by default take on a lot of responsibility. You find that your younger ones are looking up to you. So I took on a lot of responsibilities quite early. Um, my parents didn't have a lot of money. They didn't have any money, more or less. But maybe people from the outside wouldn't have noticed because we had a lot of love. So what we lacked in money, my parents tried to make up for with a lot of love in the family, which I think I feel privileged to have. Um, so growing up, I just realized I needed to help my parents. So after I got into the university and I started working, immediately took up quite a bit of the responsibilities to care for my younger ones, and to help support my parents to see them through school. And so you just basically then take up the mother hen, you know, qualities, and hoping to just do good and make your siblings and all the people that look up to you and your parents proud. So I think yeah, I found myself there and I took it up.
What a wonderful thing to say, Francis. I love that. Tell us a little more about what did you study at university and how did you get into the job market and how did you end up at William Grant?
Yeah, so I studied economics from the University of Port Harcourt in Nigeria. How did I get into the job market? It's a very interesting, because when I was in university, there was this whole mindset people had that it's difficult to find jobs out there. It'll be difficult. And I just never felt like it would be difficult for me. And I was like, I think I'll find a job. Now that I look back at it, I see the law of attraction in play because I believed I would not search for a job. So while I was serving, there's something we call the National Youth Service Corps in Nigeria. So it's like a 1 year paramilitary and service to the country, after university that almost every graduate has to go through before you then get into the job market. While I was there, of course, people were interviewing for jobs and roles and all. And then someone showed me an advert for Procter and Gamble, in Nigeria. And I think it was a sales role. It was business development at the time. So I applied. Luckily, I didn't have to send a CV. It was an SMS short code kind of application, which was very good for me. And then I got invited for the tests and the interviews, and I got the job. So on the very day that I passed out from the program, the NYSC program, I went and I picked up my employment letter. So I think I was one of the very fortunate ones. And then I spent about 12 and a half years in Procter and Gamble, about nine and a half of them in Nigeria and 3 years in South Africa. So after that, I moved. So I did all of the roles within sales, business development, distributor operations, commercial operations, e-commerce. And then I moved back to Nigeria and I joined Henckel. There I stayed for only 8 months and I left. And then I stumbled into consulting. So for like a year and a half, I was consulting for a few companies in Nigeria. And I was helping basically with go-to-market strategy, people productivity, supply chain actually as well. So it was across a few industries. So not just FMCG, but also medical devices and all. And then in November 2019, William Grant offered me the role to be country manager for Nigeria, and I accepted happily. And so in January 2020, just before COVID, I started I started my role in William Grant's, and yeah, this is where I am today.
Here you are, Francis. This is a very inspiring journey. Thank you so much for sharing, especially that you were listening to your intuition when you thought, actually, I won't have trouble in finding a job. And you really
Yeah.
trusted this intuition. And I really love when women tell me those stories, because I think that it's not that men don't have it. Men have been
Yeah.
conditioned to not listen to it. And I think we
Yeah.
women are more allowed to listen to it, and therefore we do. And I love when that comes out, and I hope this is something that we can teach sort of,
Yeah.
other people. Francis, what do you think motivates you in your
Hmm.
journey? What are your main motivators?
Hmm. One, my family. Um, I think I'm also one of those people who believe that whatever is what doing well. So I think that also drives me. Um, I think the third thing as well is um, care for people. So I'm one of those people who are, I'd like to say, passionate about people. I do some charity and philanthropy work on the side, and just seeing people impacted by what you have done, you know, providing the next meal for them or empowering them just gives me so much joy and really motivates me to do more. I think that's one. And of course, I talked about my family, but their driving force, their support system, they keep me grounded. They keep me, so yeah, they really also really motivate me. And then just wanting to be the best or just do better than myself. So be the best for myself. It's my own competition, my own race. I mean, I've come to realize that it's not about other people, it's me, it's about my own race. And that really drives me to just be better, to be a better person in everything every day. And I think these are the things that yeah, motivate me.
I love that, Franz. It's so inspiring, and you say it sort of nonchalantly. I love that. I love that you name your family, and I love that you try and do the best in everything you can. That's really a huge motivator for many other women. Francis, what do you
Thank you.
think is your superpower? What do you feel you have that makes you so good? And you must be
Hmm.
an amazing country manager. You're passionate people, you're leading a team. It comes
Yeah.
through so well.
Yeah. So I think what I would say is I think the one thing that on the I would put as an underlying factor if I had to look at the different areas of my life. So whether it's personal or work life, I think it's genuine care for the people. So in terms of my personal life, I already talked about what motivates me. And I mean, at some point in my life, I discovered my purpose. It wasn't easy. For many years, I was not clear why I was here. What am I on earth to achieve? And I kept asking the question, but I didn't know. And I felt like one day I'll find out. And then a few years ago, boom, the light bulb came, and I realized, oh, this is my purpose. And to an extent, I'd been living it, and I didn't quite realize that, but that was what it was. And which is basically, in summary, just basically impacting the lives of people. Um, so in my personal life, just being able to touch the lives of people um, comes under that care, which is that, you're seeing people going through whatever it is. And even if it's just in terms of encouragement, or it's in terms of providing for them, or in terms of, support and all, or empowerment, I think that's one thing that, I mean, if people who know me outside will say she cares for people. She's kind. So I think that would be it. I don't know if I'm that kind, but yeah, people would say that. So I think that. But when it comes also to the workplace, I'm one of the people that believe that people are the greatest assets every organization has. People can either make or mar your business. And so how you treat people determines a lot of things. The other thing that I also believe is that you need to genuinely care. I mean, people will see through you if you're fake. So if, oh, how is your family today? If you're not genuine about it, they would see through you. They would realize you really don't care. But really genuinely caring for people, what happens not only in their work life, but in their personal life, because that also comes to play in their work life, really brings out the best in them. If I feel like my boss cares about me succeeding at the job, and if anything is happening, then I really want to give my best. I mean, people would say that, I mean, I've heard it written or I've heard it somewhere that people leave their managers, not necessarily the organization. So it's very important for me that I genuinely care about my people. So if I look at the workplace as well, I'll think one of the reasons that has helped me, and I would say it's my superpower, would be that I genuinely care about my people, because it means that I want them to grow. So I'm building their capability. I genuinely care about the results. And if we've been entrusted with delivering a goal, then I care about making sure that we do deliver it for the company. Um, and I think, so I would, in that front, say that maybe that would be just that care in whatever form that it plays in my life.
Francis, I love what you said, but that you said that we are entrusted to deliver a goal. I have never heard anyone say it so beautifully. So thank you for saying it like that, because that's exactly how it is. And it becomes sort of a service, and
Yeah.
almost a sacred service. And I love that you put it that way. Francis,
Thank
what
you.
would your top tips be for other women?
Top tips: be kind on yourself. I wish I was a little kinder on myself. um, so be kind on yourself. Realize that people make mistakes. We can't be perfect, so don't be too hard on yourself. Um, I think that's one. The second thing would be to flourish where you are. So, I mean, I learned that a few years ago, which was no matter where you find yourself in the situation, it may not be where you want to be, but the question is, how do I make the best of where I am right now? So how do I flourish where I am? And there are stories um, all over the place, even in the Bible, stories about people who just made the best of their situation. You know, a prisoner becoming the head of the prisoners because decided to be the best. You know, so it's more of, it's not easy, but you need to flourish where you are. And then the third advice would be, um, we need, as women, to have a positive mindset. Sometimes we doubt ourselves, sometimes we're not sure, but we need to always we need to be positive, because the law of attraction will bring what you think. So what you think and what you feel is what you get. So always keep it positive as much as you can.
Oh, thank you, Francis. I love that. Francis, what would you say are your plans or dreams for your future? Where is your journey going?
Well, my immediate journey. Well, I got married a year ago, so future would be to have some kids in it. Yeah. um, I want to be able to do a lot more giving back. Um, and then career wise, I'm like, let it take me. I mean, I just, right now I'm like, and I think, and I realize it's okay not to know. Right now, I'm like, just do the best where I am right now. Because I mean, there were times in my life where I was like, oh, I want to become the vice president of the region, of the world, of this. But I realized that different life stages and different things, different needs change. So when the children come, do I want to be the global vice president or global president? Maybe, maybe not. But at the point, I will go with what's more important to me. So in my work, for work right now, I just assumed additional responsibilities for Ghana is to be the best that I can be, to continue to give my best, and then trust that the system will reward me accordingly. I think that's where I am at this point in my life.
Thank you, Francis, for this inspiring interview and this trust, this example of trust, of giving yourself that trust. I really love what you said in this interview today.
Thank you so much.